Well, the Woodsboro Volunteer Fire Department is still not fully operational, some 18 months after Hurricane Harvey. The fire chief in Woodsboro has been there for 25 years, says the fire station suffered extensive roof damage after the storm. Most of their gear was ruined. The building walls are said to be covered in mold. He says other fire departments have donated equipment and they're making do with what they have.
Really affects us quite a bit, but we're, like I say, we're all volunteers, and when that tone goes off, we're there, regardless what's going on,
Concrete was poured 2 weeks ago for the foundation of a new fire station, but there's no word on when that station will be finished, but they're working on it.